Han Li's trio had been preparing for this very moment, and they immediately sprang into action. Immortal Lord Hot Flame was the first to act, joining his palms before splitting them apart again to produce an antiquated golden mirror, the same time attribute Immortal treasure that he had used in that previous battle. He then began to chant an incantation while rubbing his hands together, and 2 bursts of golden light shot forth before vanishing into the golden mirror. The golden mirror instantly swelled to the size of a house, and a vast expanse of golden light surged out of its surface, then converged to form a giant golden rune that was over 100 feet in size. There was radiant golden light and tremendous time law power fluctuations surging out of the giant rune, and Immortal Lord Hot Flame thrust his palms forward, upon which the golden rune shot forward to strike the white light barrier with tremendous force. The golden rune vanished into the white light barrier upon contact, and the latter shuddered violently, following which a flashing layer of golden light appeared over its surface. The layer of golden light was quickly becoming dimmer and dimmer, but it didn't shatter like the layer of silver light from before. At the same time, Fox 3 began to chant an incantation, and 4 figures that were identical to himself shot out of his body amid a flash of silver light. The 5 Fox 3s each made a grabbing motion in unison, and bursts of menacing crimson light erupted out of their hands. Immediately thereafter, all 5 of them opened their mouths, releasing 5 bursts of silver light that vanished into the crimson light in their hands in a flash. The bursts of crimson light rapidly shrank down to form giant crimson axes that were each around 100 feet in size, and arcs of crimson lightning were flashing over the axes. The 5 giant crimson axes came crashing down viciously upon the white light barrier, and at the same time 9 azure bamboo cloud swarm swords appeared in front of Han Li side by side, with all of them radiating dazzling azure light. He opened his mouth to release a burst of azure light that injected itself into the 9 flying swords, and they quickly fused as one to form an enormous azure sword that was over 1,000 feet in size, with thick arcs of golden lightning flashing over them. Tremendous sword chi erupted out of the giant azure sword, causing the nearby space to ripple and warp. Having been nurtured in the profound heavenly gourd for so many years, Han Li's azure bamboo cloud swarm swords had once again become significantly more powerful than before. The giant azure sword came swooping down as a blurry shadow, appearing in front of the white light barrier in the blink of an eye, before swinging down with immense power. At this point, Shi Chuankong's complexion was looking quite pale, but he also took a deep breath before contributing to the collective effort by summoning a black wheel Immortal treasure, which crashed down upon the white light barrier with an earth-shattering boom. In the face of such a formidable assault, the layer of golden light had already been torn apart, and the white light barrier was also being rapidly whittled down until there was only a thin layer of it left. Countless translucent white threads appeared within what remained of the light barrier, and they intertwined with one another to form a giant net. Despite how thin it had become, the white light barrier was displaying incredible resilience, withstanding everyone's attacks in a Herculean effort. Not only that, but golden and silver light had emerged from the edge of the white light barrier, and they were rapidly converging toward the center. It's time to go all out, everyone. If we let those restrictions recover, all of our efforts up to this point will be for naught. Shi Chuankong yelled, then flipped a hand over to produce a faintly glowing purple pill. After a brief hesitation, he swallowed the pill, and radiant purple light erupted out of his body, while his complexion also quickly returned to normal. He made a beckoning motion to summon the black wheel Immortal treasure back to himself, then began to chant an incantation, and a devilish purple projection with 6 arms and 3 heads appeared behind him. Immediately thereafter, he made a rapid string of hand seals before pointing a finger up at the sky, and a burst of purple light erupted into the heavens. In the next instant, a thunderous boom rang out, and a massive dark purple hole appeared in the sky with boundless devilish chi cascading down from it. The devilish chi raining down from the heavens converged to form a series of giant dark purple runes, which surged into the weapon held in one of the purple projection's hands. The weapon in question was a massive bow, and with the injection of dark purple runes, it was rapidly becoming clearer and clearer, almost taking on a substantial form. A layer of purple scales with dark purple runes inscribed upon them appeared over the bow, and on each end of the bow was a demonic dragon head with the two ends of the thick bowstring held between their teeth. With one of its other arms, the purple projection drew back the bowstring and a giant arrow projection appeared before being released like a shooting star and striking the white light barrier. Meanwhile, Fox 3 was chanting a rapid incantation, and all 5 Fox 3s instantly fused back into one, following which his body began to expand at an alarming rate, swelling to several hundred feet tall in the blink of an eye. An enormous silver fox projection then appeared behind him, amid a flash of silver light, and the 5 giant crimson axes also fused as one to form a gargantuan crimson axe that was over 1,000 feet in size. Bursts of crimson flames then emerged over the axe, and they burned with such ferocity that even the nearby space seemed to be melting away. All of a sudden, Fox 3 let loose a thunderous roar as he swung his enormous axe down upon the white light barrier. Meanwhile, Immortal Lord Hotflame had stowed away his antiquated golden mirror, and he was chanting an ancient incantation with a solemn look on his face. A vast expanse of crimson flames erupted out of his body, forming a giant fiery figure with a crown of flames on its head and a staff of fire in its grasp. Its facial features were blurry and indistinct, but it was giving off the boundless regal authority of a fiery deity. Immortal Lord Hotflame made a rapid string of hand seals, then pointed a finger at the white light barrier, and the fiery figure behind him raised its staff of flames before also pointing it forward. A piercing shriek rang out as a thin line of flames shot out of the tip of the staff, then vanished into thin air in a flash. In the next instant, the thin line of fire abruptly appeared in front of the white light barrier before plunging viciously into it. At the same time, Hanli's eyes narrowed slightly as a ball of green light shot out of his body before transforming into the profound heavenly gourd. All of the countless tiny runes on its surface were flashing with green light, and the nearby world's origin chi was instantly stirred up into a frenzy. The profound heavenly gourd swelled rapidly in size at Hanli's behest, and the runes on its surface brightened considerably, while a burst of blinding green light erupted out of the mouth of the gourd. At the same time, dull rumbling could be heard ringing out within the gourd, and it was as if there were a volcano on the brink of erupting inside. "Go!" Hanli yelled, and the gourd instantly shuddered violently, as did the space around it. A blurry golden and azure shadow then shot out of the mouth of the gourd before striking the white light barrier. The ferocious assault unleashed by Hanli and his allies resulted in an enormous eruption of purple, crimson, silver, and azure light, and a devastating aura of destruction surged forth in all directions. Amid the eruption of 4-coloured radiance, the purple and azure lights were glowing particularly bright, and there were countless purple and azure runes churning violently within them, stirring up the nearby world's origin chi into a frenzy. The white light barrier rippled violently as countless cracks appeared over its surface, and finally it was torn apart with a resounding boom. The entire light barrier was shattered before disintegrating into a huge white cloud, and 2 flags, one golden and one silver, emerged from within the cloud. Both flags had countless star designs embroidered upon them, and the golden flag was giving off formidable time law power fluctuations, while the silver one was giving off tremendous spatial law power fluctuations. Hanli's eyes instantly lit up as he pointed a finger at his profound heavenly gourd, and a burst of green light immediately shot out of the mouth of the gourd, covering a distance of several hundred feet in the blink of an eye to capture the golden flag. At the same time, a giant purple palm projection emerged before grabbing onto the silver flag. The hand belonged to the purple projection behind Shi Chuankong, and Hanli was rather dismayed at the sight of the other flag being captured. The burst of green light sucked the golden flag into the profound heavenly gourd at his behest. while the giant purple palm projection carried the silver flag back to Xianxia. By the time Fox 3 and Immortal Lord Hotflame realized what had happened, the two had already been claimed by Hanli and Xianxia. The two of them exchanged a glance with each other, and both of them could see their own disappointment mirrored in one another's eyes. It was clear that those two flags formed the basis of the restriction that they had just broken, and they were both immortal treasures of a very high caliber, with each imbued with the power of one of the paramount laws. However, Fox 3 and Immortal Lord Hotflame didn't feel any resentment toward Hanli and Xianxia. Exploring a set of ruins was always a test of one's abilities and luck, and they only had themselves to blame for their slow reactions. "Congratulations, we haven't even entered the ruins yet, and you two have already claimed a pair of powerful treasures," Fox 3 said with a smile as he reverted back to his original form. "Brother Li and I were able to seize the initiative this time, but I'm sure there are many more treasures in the ruins for the two of you to claim," Xianxia replied with a smile of his own as the purple devilish projection vanished into his body. The dark purple hole in the sky also faded away, and right before it disappeared completely, Hanli took a glance into it with purple light flashing in his eyes. The hole was filled with devilish chi, and it was so incredibly deep that he wasn't able to see all the way through it, even with his infernal devilish eyes. It seemed to be a spatial passageway, but he had no idea where it led to. Casting aside that train of thought, Hanli made a beckoning motion, and the profound heavenly gourd immediately descended out of the sky before vanishing up his sleeve. The giant azure sword also flew back to him before splitting back up into 9 azure bamboo cloud swarm swords that returned to his sleeve as well.